Welcome to Immediate Review. We see a movie in theaters and review it immediately. We just saw Black Christmas.
The second remake of Black Christmas. Be more specific.
I don't want to.
Yes! Because this... Okay, I'm a fan of the original. Go on.
We just saw that. We are joined today by Person A, our resident female expert.
So, yeah, I just like to start a disclaimer that, this movie tries to address a lot of real serious issues. And, our thorough negative criticism of it is in no way a reflection of criticism of real-world events. This is a movie, a fictional, shitty movie that someone wrote, and while it's inspired by real-life events, I don't know. Point is, don't fucking hate us because we hate this movie. Alright, Person A, go.
Okay, so along those lines, with this film, I can respect where it was trying to go and where it was coming from, and the issues that it was bringing up with, sexism and sexual assault on college campuses and just, rape culture in general. However, it did all of these things for the most part pretty poorly.
For the most part, everything. Come on.
There were a couple instances for brief moments where it worked, but then somebody would say something like a non sequitur would be thrown out to remind the audience of something, and it wouldn't work, or it just something would happen a dude stepping in to save the day or something that would undermine everything else that came before it, and it just kind of this film kind of does that a lot, where there are lots of little things that end up undermining the larger message and point that I think the filmmakers were trying to get across, and I don't know, the empowerment that they were going for, they kind of undermine. Not as much as Charlie's Angels, though. I will say this does address issues way better than Charlie's Angels does, and issues of sexism and patriarchy better than Charlie's Angels does, and I will say that it undermines less than Charlie's Angels does, which isn't saying a whole lot, because that's a pretty low bar there. But yeah, most of the film's problems were just the script, the dialogue is weird and kind of awkward and in places. There are so many non sequiturs.
Very much so. No, there are no kind ofs in this movie. This movie is pure over the top. Fucking
But it's not in the way that Countdown was, where it's super enjoyable the whole time, because it tries to stay on message, and there is where you're trying to so it's not just schlocky fun.
Fuck, Countdown addressed sexism better than this movie.
I don't think so. I think Countdown undermined all of that even more than this one.
Countdown at least fit it logically into their plot, and it felt like something the character it's everything in this was statement first, and maybe we can try to figure out how to film something around it. But sorry, continue.
It's just I don't know. The main issues that this had was just the script wasn't great. The editing wasn't great. The sound editing was really fucking weird.
Everything about it was bad.
It was poorly produced, and I think that comes with the Blumhouse brand a lot of the time. There are always exceptions. Get out. But this. What I will say is that I do appreciate what it tried to do. It just didn't succeed.
I just gotta say about Blumhouse, I don't give them credit for Get Out. That's Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Okay? That's not Blumhouse being we want to make this movie.
Hey, they gave him money, though.
Yeah, yeah, they get credit for that.
They get credit for giving him money. It's all Jordan Peele from there.
No,
but they were the money.
You can tell
behind
what
it.
movies they're in control of and what movies have an auteur at the helm.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll talk about it for a bit. So are you, I'm just gonna move into spoilers because like I don't care. But yeah, so basically this movie, you know, like everybody says, is trying to do the whole, you know, I guess like Me Too movement, you know, trying to rise up against like sexual predators and whatnot, which I'm all for. You know, fuck men. But yeah, I feel like Person A said, that it just kind of undermines itself, and they'll have moments where like, you know, the guy that one of the girls is dating, where he like is portrayed as like very effeminate.
Those kids are chasing geese. Sorry.
He's portrayed as like pretty feminine, and then as the movie goes on, he like gets more like masculine and starts siding with the you know, guys more, and are just kind of like, oh yeah, you're man hating, and has an argument there, and he says that not all men, and that they need to calm down, and it's just like the two, like, I don't know, just easy just grasping the fucking lowest hanging fruit.
The whole thing was, yeah.
And
it's like his whole speech.
And
that
yeah,
he did.
just like literally all he says is just like, not all men are like that, and you guys need to calm down, and they like scream at him and
like,
throw him out the door.
It doesn't feel natural the way the dialogue is at all. It's just
Granted, what I will give the film is that the whole like they stupidly and poorly give an explanation that, because he talks about having a migraine, that it's the bust of the founder that's starting to mind control all the men on campus.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah,
that's why he's
okay.
Like,
so, but
acting
yeah,
like
but
that.
he shows back up and he's like, you know, oh, they're going after my girls. They're after my girls, and so it's like, you know, that guy, like he gets mind control just like Landon does in the end, but he's portrayed as like the man savior who's like trying to say he's like, I'm gonna exactly, like I'm gonna protect these girls, and he gets an arrow to the fucking face, and so it's like, yeah, like being the white knight and just being like, I'm gonna blindly protect women because I'm the man who's around them. It's like, you know, that's obviously like an incorrect mindset. But then as the climax of the movie happens, which by the way was done better than Endgame, fucking shots fired, they have, you know, our main girl like confront her rapist essentially, or sexual assault or fucking whatever happened, because they don't go into the specifics because it's PG-13, but they have them like have an encounter, and she gets to like scratch his face and whatnot, and then Landon, our essentially cinnamon roll character, he is the one who ends up fighting the guy that sexually assaulted her, and it just kind of undermines the whole like, you know, men aren't supposed to be the saviors here. It's like, no, if you're in a long-term relationship with a girl, then no, you're kind of just a piece of shit guy. But a new love interest for a girl who's been sexually assaulted, someone new to come in and save, yeah, that's the only way a girl can be saved from sexual assault, is to have a new man interest who's super nice and kind and doesn't do anything bad save her.
Good message.
Good message, Black Christmas. Fucking A+ on that one. Fucking Christ.
I'm just so pissed that she doesn't get to. Yeah, she didn't get her revenge like fully.
And what was the whole point of having the woman like the betrayer? She betrayed them. She betrayed all of them, and then they just kill her.
That was a metaphor. That was a metaphor for like, even if you're that, I'm not one of those girls. I'm one of the guys. I'm not a feminist.
I'd use the word
patriarchy hurts you too.
It's like, yeah.
It was totally supposed to be like a metaphorical for even if you're an Ann Coulter. To Tony Lauren type,
she was an
like
Coulter.
Patriarchy is still gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
And like I liked that they killed her and all of that, but I still was like, yeah.
I mean, I would have felt better if the girls got to do it.
What?
Yeah.
It was so poorly done.
But I think the point of the men doing it was the betrayal and the point about patriarchy. It's just the way that this film does everything else. It like their strength is not in the metaphors and all of that, so it doesn't
Yeah, but
read.
I
It doesn't
thought-
come across in a stronger film. Doing something like that, I think, would come
This
across
movie
really well.
was-
In this film, I got what they were going for, but then it was like totally tempered by Carrie Elwes's.
you got what they were going for? It wasn't
Carrie
fucking
Elwes's-
slammed in our face the entire time? You picked up on
No,
it.
no, no, no.
Holy
no.
shit!
Fuck up. I'm talking about with them killing her, like killing the subservient, like obedient,
Yeah.
like woman.
That's fucking funny.
But like it was undercut immediately by Carrie Elwes, like hamming it up in the next scene and just being like, oh.
Yeah, dude, how dare you undermine person A's response with your fucking condescending just shit, dude. Fuck men, alright? Penises are evil.
Not gonna lie, there are plenty of times when I legitimately said
Penises are
not
fuck men,
penises, not
are
penises
evil.
are evil, but like fuck men, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. It's like,
We all have. But, you know, I don't make shitty movies about it. But,
I mean, I feel like we'd make a better movie than that.
So-
Like, yeah.
So yeah, my general thoughts on this thing, I've chimed in a bit. You know, I loved it. No,
8 out of 10.
no. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the original Black Christmas, and so just Blumhouse remake, I'm immediately turned off. And then it's like, it was announced it was PG-13, and a lot of people were like, hey guys, it still might be good, and it's just like, it never looked good. And the PG-13 rating did hurt this movie. I'm sorry. It's just like,
It
a
really
bad
did.
movie needs good gore. It does. It's like, because the argument is always, well, you can have a good horror movie. And it's like, yes, you can. But if your movie's shit, it at least needs something to entertain us. Like,
You're saying
If
that
it's
the
not well
feminist
written-
talking points weren't entertaining to you? You sexist piece of shit!
They weren't well written enough.
It was written really fucking bad. Like,
It was
So-
weirdly written.
so, like,
it felt like I think you said at one point that it felt like there were pages of the script that were
so
just like
hold on,
ripped out.
I'll get into that later. But you know, we were watching the original Black Christmas last night, and like, so the original Black Christmas has a lot of themes of like women being stalked and women trying to get help and cops not believing them and doing all the same stuff this movie does. And not only that, but it also has a subplot where a woman who wants to go to college gets pregnant and wants to have an abortion because she wants to continue her education, and her boyfriend doesn't want that, wants her to quit and do all this, and they have a freaking, you know, debate about it, and she tells him flat out that like these are her dreams and, you know, she can do what she wants. This is a 50-year-old goddamn movie that's like, it's addressing issues that can still be relevant and doing it in a way that weaves it into the plot much better than just like, I don't know, it's just like anything. It's not just with I think with when it comes to political statements, people recognize it better, but just like dropping poor exposition that's just spoon feeding the audience information is always bad, like no matter how you do it. And when it's done with like real issues, it can just feel extra shitty because like, I don't know, the movie's trying to teach a lesson that A, I know, and B, is not giving me an entertaining movie. It's just a shit movie with, you know, good lessons poorly laced throughout it. Anyways, my point is, like, last night we watched the original Black Christmas, and I was just like, $50 as this is a better, like, feminist film than the one we watch tomorrow. And do I win $50, person A?
But it's better written.
What
Like I feel like this one is more relevant in a lot of ways, but in terms of like the better made film, the original wins.
I think pregnancy and women like not going through
Autonomy
abortion
and
stuff,
all of that is definitely like that. That's a huge.
That's complete-
bodily autonomy. That's very relevant.
it's completely
right now.
relevant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, like, because that's like a small subplot in the.
No,
whereas
it's not. It's like the subplot of our main character. Like,
I know, but that's not the reason that she's being stalked and killed. Whereas like the whole plot of this one revolves around rape culture, specifically on college campuses.
Yeah, but it's done poorly, and I think a
no,
movie
it's
that
done poorly.
does it.
The other movie definitely does it better. I'm just
So that's my point, that it's a better and more feminist film than this piece of shit, and like offers up a better message overall.
It doesn't undermine its message. I will say that. The original
Yeah, it doesn't.
One
And it also delivers it
undermine
well in a compelling way that's entertaining.
Like the original is definitely a much better film.
So that's that.
Yeah, the original's way better. I don't know. That's all I gotta say, I guess.
Yeah.
And the first remake's way better as well. The first remake's really dumb. It's basically like a quasi rip-off of Halloween, and yeah, it's not so feminist, but it's shot better. It's got better gore, and it also flies by quicker. Cinematography in this movie was horrible, absolutely horrible. Christmas horror movies are supposed to look gorgeous and fun and bright, and this one didn't. This one looked muted. I've never seen bright lights look so muted and poorly shot before.
Well, and it had these just super jarring tonal shifts with the color grading. Like, we go like, half the movie, and we don't really. I mean, there are moments where our killers or whatever show up, but the color grading and the tone of the movie is all just it's trying to do the forget you're watching a horror movie type thing. That way when the horror does start, you're like, oh, so the shift happened, it's so scary now. But it just takes you out of it, because you never, like, the whole time the dialogue is like reminding you that you're watching a horror movie, so you're never taken out of this like aspect of like looming whatever that's going on. But the color grading doesn't reflect that, and then when it does kind of shift, it just feels like they're they're trying to do it, like it's not natural. It's not like how an interaction, like, I don't know, there's like one scene that I feel like perfectly encapsulates this, and it's like they're at the party before they're gonna go, and she's like gonna go and look through the place to try to find her friend, and she's like, I've got to go find her, and she like leaves the room, and then just immediately it shifts to the horror stuff, and she stops moving in the quick motion to try to find her friend, and she just starts looking around, checking out all the doors, watching people have sex, just like it's super weird. And the shift happens like with the fucking characters. Like, it doesn't make any sense why she like why walking in through this house, like, she would just immediately like stop looking for her friend and whatnot. It's like, insinuates it's because she's like, she was assaulted there and whatnot, and whatnot, but it's just, it doesn't work. If she was assaulted there and was worried that her friend was missing and could have been getting assaulted herself, which she fucking was, and she just decides to like open up like random doors slowly and creep through stuff and listen to a random wall.
Lucky me, I stumbled upon two plot points.
The friend that was about to, that was like being assaulted and was about to potentially like end up suffering the same fate as the main character, is the one who ends up being like obedient to them in the end.
Yeah.
And that seems so, like, I don't know, tonally and thematically inconsistent with the rest of the film. Like, her character isn't well established at all.
Yeah, and she did not throw up in that scene. Okay, nobody fucking throws up and gets back up and just like looks like a fucking $1,000,000 like she did.
No.
Like, hell fucking no. Like, coming from somebody who's thrown up a lot. And yeah, there's a couple other things that this movie was like.
The transitions are really bad through everything. Every conversation, every scene, it just feels like something is missing everywhere. And everything feels random. And it's all the worse when it's just trying to preach this message that everybody who's watching the movie is well aware of. Like,
I wouldn't say
and how many times have horror movies or like any movie done something where like a classroom is presented and the evil person at the end of the movie gives a monologue about the fucking like their philosophy, and it's presented as a lesson, and then at the end it's like, oh, by the way, I actually believed all of that and I am an evil man.
Yeah, no, Carrie Elwes is obviously the most evil motherfucker from the very beginning. The first like lines that he delivers, you're like, yep, that guy's gonna be in on it. He's gonna be the head of the like cult thing. Like, evil motherfucker. Hope they kill him. Like, the moment he opens his mouth.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm surprised
There's
you picked
no
up on
suspense
that.
there. There's no mystery as to like there's absolutely zero mystery with who the kill like, and they know that it's the frat, but in that they still try to like play it kind of mysterious, but it doesn't like work because there's no mystery because the trailers gave away
Yeah,
already
exactly. If you
the
watch
power
the
of the
trailers,
bust
yeah.
and all of that, so that's like not a mystery. So like, because there's no mystery, there's no suspense, the dialogue's terrible, and it's PG-13, so there's no gore. So it like the one opportunity that it had to just be like at least do the gore, it doesn't get because of the rating.
I think so at the end you find out that there's some black tar in the bust of the founder, and it causes men to unleash their inner alpha, which is a plague on humanity.
It's like an
and
incel version of the alpha.
So it's so fucking. First of all, of course, it's ludicrous, but aside from that, it's just I find it hilarious that like the movie's trying to take on these real issues and it's failing so bad, and it's just by the end of it, it's just like, you know what? Fuck it. Sexism is a magic power that infects people, and if we just smash the head of the tar, everything will be better. And just like, it's so on the nose, and then out of nowhere it wants to be an allegory where it's like this cult and this tar represents sexism, and it's just like it's so misguided, and they have no idea what they're truly doing or what kind of story they want to tell. Like,
it would have been so much better without the supernatural shit.
Yeah,
if it was just like a fucked up. I mean, because honestly, they have a lot of real world stuff to draw from, and like stuff that is genuinely terrifying to women everywhere.
No, and that's why it makes me mad to watch this, because it's done so poorly, and it's a shame. And I'd rather have it not done than just bastardized like this. Like, we need good movies that address this shit, because it just makes it worse for people. Like, who...
Yeah, anybody that like, it's trying to target in terms of stuff would just view it as a joke. Like, or just, not watch it because it's just,
Or think the issues in real life are stupid because this movie's stupid. And so it's like this stupid movie talks about these issues, therefore issues are stupid. Like, that's the correlation that people make, and that's why these movies fucking blow. And I don't like giving excuses like, oh, well, it's trying to do it. It's like, that's what sucks.
Yeah, do or do not. There is no try. And these guys did not. They did not. Okay, I've kind of said everything I kind of want to say about this.
Last words. Person.
Purple.
I feel like I've touched on everything.
Dissuaded.
Again, my major problem is that every time I started to feel like, okay, so there's some genuine horror elements in this,
where
built into the situation. It's situational, as a woman, fears about a guy's being followed, or getting creepy messages,
saying no and having a guy not.
Exactly, and related to assault and feeling unsafe and all of that, there would be little moments where I'm maybe this is gonna and it just it didn't follow through on any of that. I was then somebody would open their mouth and say a line, and it would just be laughable, or the camera would do something weird or death would be weird. Like the woman first woman who gets killed apologizes.
I know, right?
And I was like, what the fuck? Like every time it would be something like that would just undermine it. Where I was like, okay, so there's some elements here and they just don't know like what to do with them. Or maybe they did, and then producers were like, that's too far. You got to tone it back and make it more. Like I feel like I honestly watching this and with all the weird editing things, I feel like there was a lot of producer production studio hands in this. Like Blumhouse was like, we want a lot of control over this project and did not give a whole lot of creative control.
Unfortunately, that's not true. They gave her a lot of creative control. I was reading about it.
Oh.
This is a passion project.
Maybe there's a director's cut out there that's slightly better.
I think that's why I just think the original
Release.
Black Christmas is so much more successful, is because it focuses on like 2 or 3 specific issues, focuses on them and does it well. Where this one is just trying to stuff everything, every topic that people have been discussing in the past 10 years or so, and like trying to make changes about. It's just stuffing the whole movie with it and not making any of it work. And it's quality over quantity in terms of just trying to address issues. Focus is good.
Yeah.
So, trailers. First trailer about a woman killing piece of shit men, and we're stoked for it because it looks awesome and looks like it's having
so
fun and not just shoving shit down your throat. It looks like it's telling promising young woman.
Oh yeah, no, the message is not only clear, but it's like from the trailer at least, we don't know until we see the movie, but it looks like it's well acted and well written. That's the main thing, is that it has to be well written and like it's focused, and there's like there's like a story like that. Like I watched that and I was like, fuck yeah, like that seems like in terms of like, I don't know, like having a more like feminist and empowering message, that seemed a little bit more on point.
It seems like a kind of a bending of the femme fatale theme, but like not one that's just, this girl naturally is just so difficult for men to deal with. It's like, she fucking hunts down the scum of the earth. It's like To Catch a Predator, but if Chris Hansen murdered the guys.
and I like that it's embracing that, because those type of movies used to get made all the time, and it'd be nice to see them made with a new lens and not just completely
smutty,
trying to stay away from it, or just making it too smutty. like you
smutty
said.
and unrealistic, and like not this movie at least from the trailer, it's very much aware of like her PTSD and like all of that, like the trauma associated, whereas like a lot of the films like they did not. It was like, oh yeah, I was just raped by this guy, but I'm gonna seduce him and it's gonna be no problem, and da 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 da, and like it this addresses like the psychological components of like going through something like that.
Well, and I think it does a good job at on the type of guy, or the type of essentially rapist that they're focusing on. It isn't just the standard, I'm going to approach you in the alley and fucking, like in a trench coat.
It's
and
the nice guy thing.
It's the nice guy. I'm going to take this girl home.
Take a
and
drunk
take
girl.
advantage
Take a drunk girl home. Yeah, there's literally a country song. Holy fucking shit. I'm glad I don't listen to country anymore, because what the fuck. Don't take a drunk girl home. Just find her friends and let them do it. Like, don't be that guy.
Or get her an Uber and make sure she gets in the
well,
Uber.
I mean, even in that situation though, like, there's situations where
the Uber driver could be
exactly.
the Uber driver could be like, is your driver?
If it was
a
me,
woman?
like we live in Bend, Oregon. Like this is like one of the beer capitals of like America right now, and like there are people getting trashed all the fucking time. And if it was me, I would not be the guy who goes and takes that drunk girl home just for my own sense of liability of like if something were to happen afterwards and whatnot and I wasn't involved, I'd be the last person. Like it's not a fucking good idea. Like just make sure their friends know and they take care of her. You should fucking stay out of it because I mean in this case she'll fucking murder you.
We forgot to mention the cast looks amazing
Oh,
too.
the
There were
cast
like
looks
10
so
people. I was like,
good.
holy
And
shit,
it's
holy
shot
shit.
like
Holy
super
shit.
well.
Oh, the cinematography looked great.
Soundtrack looked fucking, and
Yeah.
this is all just a trailer. Like
Yeah.
we've been talking
Yeah.
3 minutes about just a fucking trailer.
It looks so. I'm so
Like,
excited
I'm
about
excited
this movie.
for this one, and the fact
Yeah.
that it played during this movie, like before this movie, I don't feel was a coincidence.
No, yeah, and it's like, go watch
Oh, it'd be
good
like,
one.
go watch this one instead.
I'm
This one
surprised we
does
didn't
what
see
this.
a Bombshell trailer, honestly, because that's one that's been playing at a lot of these.
Because I think it's our. did
I think
Bombshell
that
already
one's
came
that
out?
one. I
I
think
don't think so. No, it should. Well, it might be.
I
It's been
think
a
that
little
one's
while.
not targeting kids and like teens and
that
stuff.
might be why.
That's true. There was some little fucking. You had to yell at some little kids at these
8-year-olds, like-
yeah, man.
Because it hit me that I think that I was like, I think they think they're the only people in the theater. I better remind them that they're not.
They were good after you did that. They didn't start doing it again until everybody else left the theater.
All right, Gretel and Hansel. We talked a bit about this. It's looking better the more I see it.
See, I get the opposite feeling.
Yeah, Greta Van Fleetsel.
Does anybody else get like an uncanny valley feeling about the witch? Like I like watch her and it looks like she's like not a real person, like she's CGI.
Yeah, I liked this the first time I watched it, and then as I'm watching it more, I kind of like it less and less. But I'm willing to give it a shot. You know, anything that looks like a stylized, well shot horror movie, I'll most likely check out.
Yeah. It's yeah.
I feel like it could either be good or it could either drag on for a really long time and be super boring but pretty.
And it's like a grim fairy tale. Like, I don't know if this is going to be a cinematic universe thing. But,
God.
you know, the grim stories have never really been told terribly well, so maybe we'll get some good
Like
ones.
in the original hardcore
Yeah.
iterations.
Anyways,
Gretel und Hansel. Oh, wait, we just did that. Antebellum.
you mean Annabelle?
Okay, and this looked weird. It looked like, I wrote in my notes, slave time travel kidnap. Like,
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. And
I don't either.
I'm intrigued. That's all I know. I am intrigued.
what I got from the plot is that it's about these women who are like kidnapped or something and sent back in time, and it's like modern.
Well, see, I don't think it's back in time. I think they're sent to like a part of the country that's like.
No, because she
where
looked
they're
up and they dissolve shot. They did
There was a
dissolve,
plane flying over
and they
them.
did a dissolve shot as cutting back to like the real world with it.
See, I think the all this like the horror and element and all of that is going to be that there's like an actual slave plantation in modern times.
Yeah,
That's going
it
on.
looked like the 1800s.
Like that there are
though.
actually people like and that they do like the village thing.
I
You
was
know what I
literally
mean?
gonna say, you mean the village?
Except they're doing it well. Like in terms of like these people have been taken and like forced into slavery in modern times.
Yeah,
That
so
sounds
Liam
more.
Neeson.
That sounds more
This-
outlandish
this
than
is like-
time travel, honestly.
No, Paula Deen. This is exactly what Paula Deen wanted. Remember?
But it looked exactly like the 1800s. Like,
Yeah. No. I think that's gonna be what the twist is. I don't think there's time travel.
I really hope not.
I think if it's done well,
Time
that
travel
is like
is good
terrifying because
I don't want time travel either. I'm just saying.
Like I think if it's done, it could be done well.
What's wrong with time travel? Endgame does time travel.
Oh God, no. Time travel presents too many like. Most people can't do time travel well.
Yeah, because most people don't fucking understand how time works, or they like to just redefine how time.
So Harley Quinn looks fucking amazing. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
Stoked.
So excited. I get more and more stoked every time I see this trailer. It looks so fucking fun and energetic and just
And it doesn't got Mr. J.
no Mr.
No.
J.
No Mr. J. We got Mr. G.
Yeah.
Ewan G.
All right, we got goddamn fuck Blumhouse. I'm so
I'm sorry. I'm excited about this one. You can fucking shove this up your ass. It could be bad, but
It could
maybe
be
it's just
good.
Elizabeth Moss. Maybe it's just I like the concept. I like I like the trailer. I'm excited. I want to see the Invisible Man.
Yeah, if
The
Elizabeth Moss,
Invisible
if
Man.
Elizabeth Moss wasn't in it, I'd have zero faith. She's the only thing that makes me think.
She's an amazing actress.
She
She
is.
sold this, and like the concept is honestly like, I will drop the as a woman bomb. As a woman, terrifying.
But it makes no sense. Like,
It does make sense.
if
Okay.
the trailer doesn't present it as it makes sense. It
It-
could make sense though.
It totally like, to me it makes sense.
It makes sense that somebody would leave a woman $5 million and then stalk her invisibly for reasons.
Well, no, she mentions that he's like a controlling, sociopathic, abusive asshole that she's like tried to escape.
So I'm gonna make myself invisible.
Yeah.
And give her money.
Yeah, he's specifically like
But
if
he's
somebody's
like, if
that
she's insane,
controlling.
she doesn't get them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh.
That's remember, if she's not deemed mentally competent, she doesn't get the money. So he's driving her fucking nuts.
And
Like
then-
that's the whole point.
And then
of
he'll
the-
be
all this thing.
invisible.
And well, he can probably with the machine thing, he can probably turn himself back if he wants to. Otherwise, he's a fucking abusive, creepy fucker who could just stalk women for the rest of his life. I'm sure he'd be totally fucking fine with that.
That's true. It's just I don't trust Blumhouse and it seems outlandish, but I hope it's good. And I'm tired of them remaking things. I'm done. Like, it's like they're trying to buy up all the old franchises and remake them, and
Yeah. But at this point, I feel like they just took the name and the concept of invisibility, and that it's not in any other way associated with the original Invisible Man at all.
that's what pisses me off. It's like, make your Invisible Stalker movie. Stop like riding the coattails of the past. Like same with Black Christmas. Make your fucking feminist Christmas horror, but don't call it Black Christmas.
Why doesn't anyone throw flour at him?
I think that every time.
Okay. Anyways, we're gonna wrap this up here. So yeah, immediate review. We're back at it again after our hiatus. Hopefully. Anyways, see you guys later. Peace.